My name is Jeff Pagano, and welcome to Harping on Rugby, where with the help of some fellow fans, I get the chance to harp on what's going on with Leinster, Ireland, and the wider rugby world. My first contributor this week is earning his 61st cap. Welcome back to Mr. Tom Coleman.
Evening, Jeff. Evening, Rich. Good to be back.
Good to see you. And also joining us is someone making appearance number 39, coming to us from the Great Rock of Gibraltar. Hello to Mr. Rich Mifsud.
Evening, lads. Good to be back again.
Indeed, good to have you both. And this now brings us to our final thoughts, starting with Tom.
Yeah, look, I think both of you have summed up as well. You know, short and sweet. It's disappointing maybe to break the 30 out of 30, but I think we all agree we probably didn't do enough on the night to get that. It's nice to get this block of 6 games done with 6 wins. Because there's some impressive team behind us. I think definitely Glasgow and Bulls are the pick of the, not the rest necessarily, but the pick of the the top 3 with Leinster. They look the most 3 consistent teams that'll be there towards the end of the season. But yeah, goodwill all in all. As you say, tried out a new centre partnership. I think we're still probably trying to fit some players still into our system that we've spoken about, like Luke and Ross. And it was handy to bring on the likes of Porter when need be in the second half, just because he adds so much dynamism to the team. When he comes on, the way he plays, it's not just everyone looks at the scrum, but it's his general play around the park. No, good win overall. And as I said, credit to the Lions. I thought their defence for a team short that doesn't really have many Springbok stars. When you look at their compatriots in Durban, they're definitely team that's more than the sum of their parts, and a team that's playing for their coach. Simple as I said there after the match, guys bouncing out of the tackle and up into the defensive line time after time for 80 minutes tells me that's a team that's in good stead, and they'll cause a lot of teams trouble. But it's difficult to get a block of games on the road for them as well. I'm sure it's a difficult thing. Like we know ourselves from going down to South Africa, it's a difficult thing to go down and string a few results together. But yeah, good win again. And just where we want to be come the end of the first phase, sort of before the autumn international. So it'll be interesting selection. I think Ulster game is our next game, and we don't have a home game, believe it or not, now till Claremont on the 15th or 14th of December. So 6 weeks away. Whatever. It's a bit mad, but so we'll have itchy feet by the time we get to Claremont for a bit of rugby.
Yeah, I mean, just on the Lions, I mean, I think as far as we might have thought going into when the formation of the new URC, they might have been supposedly the weakest of the 4 sides going into it. And as we were saying on the preview show with Kigo, someone said on Twitter, I think during the week, that we had more Springbok caps in just RG Snyman than the entire Lions squad. However, that doesn't always mean it's a bad thing, because it means they're more likely to play together. There's not a lot of players coming out and going to camps and stuff. So then, a lot of this team would have played in the Currie Cup recently and got all the way to the final. And they've had a lot of string of games together, and they've showed it first 2 weeks of the season. And they definitely showed it in parts on Saturday. And it's to their credit. And they could definitely be contenders for top 8 and high finish in the league this season as well. What did you make of it, Rich?
Yeah, pretty much agree with everything that's been said. Just to add a couple of shout outs, I thought Gus and Cooney had very good outings, both of them. And I suppose the important thing is that they both looked like they belonged. I think that's probably the best compliment I can pay them. I've already touched upon Sam Prendergast and the fact that he exudes class. Interesting also that we saw a continuation of the policy of having senior players up in the coaches' boxes. I don't know if you saw the James Ryan was there in the coaches' box, and pretty much in the same way as Caelan Doris had been a few weeks back. So I like that, and it's good to see that it continues, and not just with the captain, but with people who are captains in their own little sections of the team. And Robbie just did what Robbie always seems to do. He's out for ages, then comes back, and you wouldn't have thought he's been out for months. what an outing. He was substituted in the 79th minute, for God's sakes. Outrageous, honestly, outrageous. But what a guy to have alongside you if you're making your debut, as Cooney was, right? Bags of experience, and I'm sure there was an awful lot of quiet conversations being had between the centres in order to navigate the lad through his game at the Aviva. So all in all, I mean, if you're nothing but pleased with the first block of 6 games, then you need to be a bit silly about it and overly critical. They played probably below their potential throughout the block of games, and they've only shown glimpses of it. And again, I come back to this thing that I mentioned earlier, which is that I think that they are tactically not just planning the matches, but planning the season as well. And I don't think they've shown what they can do. Just one final point. It may sound controversial, but Tyler Blendahl has made an almost immediate impact in the way that we're playing, in our fluidity. And no disrespect, but for my money, he's way better than Andy Goodman at what he does. The players seem to understand what he wants, and they're doing it, and they're performing. And I think quite quickly getting back to the type of attacking rugby and flair that we've enjoyed and loved over the years.
Well, that's brilliant, lads. Many thanks again to Tom and Rich for joining me. I hope to have you back on again soon. Thanks, lads.
Cheers,
Thanks,
Jeff.
Tom.
Cheers,
Thanks,
Rich.
Tom.